One of my favorite joints to talk about and study is the knee joint. And I think that's because it's so misunderstood. It has this fragility narrative around it, further exacerbated by some of the pictures that we see in anatomy books. People get a sense of a very stable hip joint because of its deep socket, but we don't really see much in terms of sockets here when we look at pictures. So, as you know, my interest lies in the soft connective tissue. And this most recent week in the lab, I went back to the knee. I always go back to the knee. I can't help myself. And I've shared stories about it before, but this one was new. This was a new observation. I spent some time just observing the joint capsule and also the patella. And I think my patella dissection is kind of what started it. Normally we cut at the patellar ligament down here on the tibia and reflect the patella back so that we see it embedded in the tendon of the rec fem. But I did something different. Instead, I kind of peeled off the rec fem tendon and left the patella behind, and it was in the joint capsule. That was just the way that I saw it. So it was really like part of the joint capsule. And then I was actually playing with some of the other quadricep muscles, especially like the VMO, and just observing how the muscle fibers, especially the VMO, just embedded right into that joint capsule. So that was kind of cool. And then I just kept playing around. I was there for a couple hours and was just freed the joint capsule, was kind of pulling on it, and I saw something I've never seen before. We all assume that the joint capsule, covers the joint, right? That it covers, starts at the femur, ends at the tibia, and creates some tension, which would pull them together, right? If I have something here and something here and I pull across, it would pull the bones together. But I was just following, and I ended up discovering that not only did the joint capsule cross over, it also inserted into the bone on which it started. If you watched my connective tissue discussion about the ribs recently, there was a similar thing. Why does connective tissue start and end on the same bone? I'm just going back to that balance of tension and compression. It's like the joint capsule inserts and pulls apart, and at the same time crosses over and pulls together. It was really cool. I had a good time with it. Thanks for listening.